Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and I'm in Deming, New Mexico. And one really nice thing they have here is this museum. You see this sign behind me? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's a fairly large museum with a lot of wide variety of historical artifacts. A lot of it relating to the local culture. So I'm going to go around in the museum and show you what I think is some of the more interesting pieces. So let's take a look inside. This used to be the Deming Armory, and right outside the museum they have a Veterans Memorial Park. I'm not sure what this is referring to. Have to look it up. And over here they have a cannon, I guess it is. Although I don't see how anything is going to come out of there. So let's go inside and I'll show you what I think is some of the more interesting items in the museum. They have all sorts of collections here, and I really like this one. Look at that. Very lifelike, kind of unusual skin tone, and this is what it says it is. And they do have quite a large doll collection. This one is from 1910. It's a long row here of all sorts of dolls and figurines. Wow. I think it's just so amazing they're able to acquire all of these. Here's a really old baby buggy. Feels like it's fiberglass. Guess what that is? It's a boxer. And here is an Emmett Kelly doll. Remember this guy? Priced at 99 cents. Wonder what it's worth now. Got some puppets. Jesse Ventura doll. And this sort of looks like a couple Indians, but none like I've ever seen. Must be Indians from another planet. Now this is a really nice Indian model. And that thing is about almost 3 feet tall. And they have a nutcracker collection. It's behind glass. Those are some really big ones down there. Another display of them here. And they've got a Dixon Ticonderoga that is almost 5 feet long. This is a big room with a lot of different stuff in it. The Hot Tamales cart. Here's a Crosley television from 1950s. Got some old stand-up radios, phonograph, an unusually large bell collection. Wow, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 display cases of bells. That should do it. Ugh, I hate that glass. Oh, and here's a big one. I like this one. Wonder what that's used for. Mom, it's time to feed the baby. And in here, the dining room. And this might be what you call a go-to-meeting room. There's the resident. Bedroom, medical room. Well, they don't want us going in the medical room, but there's a lot of old medical devices here. A couple iron lungs there and here. Wood model of the county courthouse. And here is the telephone operator. Got a nice desk here. Modern typewriter back then. Cash register. All this old office equipment. And a graphotype. Not sure what graphotypes were used for. Very simple keyboard here. I had a job in the 1970s where I used a larger version of one of these adding machines. And this calculator is called Simplicity. Accuracy and speed. Really. Not for what I remember. It says these are from the 1900s. There's a 16mm movie camera. Several load cameras here. Bunch more in this glass display case. Get this. This is a pocket camera from 1915. You put that in your pocket. It's about 10 inches wide. There's one with the big bellows. 1920. My mother had one of these. That's what she used to take pictures of me in the 1950s. Got a Chinese mannequin, Chinese dolls, and I think this is a set of china. Some more china pieces. It's a gong. And a grandfather clock. That looks Chinese too. A lot of nice stuff here. How do you like this Indian mask? Got several Indian dolls here. Those are button hooks. And this is the button hooker. They got a lot of dinnerware here if you're into that. Plates from the American Revolution. Crystal. Wow, all sorts of things. We've got a collection of musical instruments. This is a player organ that you crank. And here we have a Stradivarius. 1850. And in this other room, they have a chuck wagon. There's the cook. And there's the big box on the other side of the chuck wagon. And here they've got a huge rock collections. If you're into rock collections, boy, you would love this. Look at all this. All these display cases of polished rocks. Look at all this. I like these amethysts. Really good samples of petrified wood. Here's a barbershop, and the good news is the dentist is a completely separate office. This is the store of quality merchandise, which you don't see much of anymore if you ask me. All modern, high-tech, but doesn't last long. And here's a dress shop. I think this mannequin needs a little bit of an adjustment there. Something doesn't look right. Grocery, hay, and grain. That's like a department store, isn't it? And they got a few antique cars. 1909 Model T. 1918 fire truck. And here's a tanker truck with motor oil, fuel, and kerosene, which is horse-drawn. You see something wrong with this picture? Here's a Studebaker Lark. They built those up until 1960. And what is this? It's Deming's first automobile. Wow. How they managed to keep that around. I bet you never guess what this is. Believe it or not, it is a whiskey bottle. 4/5 quart. Got some more whiskey bottles here. Made from famous Western people. Annie Oakley. And down here are a couple lovely ladies heading your whiskey bottle. Even got some circus themed whiskey bottles. Ben Franklin, Betsy Ross, and a George Washington whiskey bottle. Sports players, musicians, J.R. Ewing, Elvis, Fish whiskey, and Armadillo Jim Beam. How amazing is this collection, folks, of all these whiskey bottles? Well, folks, I would say this is an excellent collection. Quite an amazing collection of all sorts of things. So definitely stop by here if you're driving Interstate 10 between Las Cruces and Tucson, or just the Deming. Good day, folks.